Alright, here is a look at something new to the channel. This is EarnestCore Craft Robot Builder line. This is the newer ones, MAGNI and ABYSSAL. These are smaller than the usual ones. I did get, and I haven't done a review of it, I don't think I'm gonna, but I did get the Flame Ants version, and you can see why I'm interested in that dude, from my friend Ian. But it's basically it's basically a line of like robots that are cool on their own but are modular, and you can swap things in. You can see he's still got some ports up here on him. There's ports all over these guys that use some pegs, and we'll get into it. These just showed up, these two specifically just showed up from Showz's store. They're in, and like I said, these are very much my aesthetic, are like what I'm into. I love these guys, these two little dudes. This guy looks kind of like a Lagan from Gurren Lagann. This guy's just a cool little bubbly dude. But I said, just as robots, they're fun. He's got small little feet. He kind of looks like he's underwater. He is called ABYSSAL. Underwater, he's got the air tanks, little tiny feet, little robotic arm on his hip that can reach out and grab things, a little kind of underwater gun or sample taking device to explore the unknown, some gripper claws that are articulated. Just a lot of fun. And this guy, like I said, is just a beefy little dude with short little legs. Cool little, like, they're super posable, like ball joints everywhere. Hinges, swivels. Just a lot of neat, fun little things. And he's RB-16. I think he's RB-17. He actually says RB-60 or Robot Build 16 on his leg. That's how I know. But they are modular, and we'll show some of that in a moment. They also come with some weapons. Some little things. Well, I guess not only one of them comes with weapons. MAGNI comes with a hammer and like a little saw shield. And to use the hammer, like other weapons can hold it. You can use the regular handle, and he can hold it if you want. You can pull these pegs out, and he's got modular hands. So he's got his closed fist, but then he's got fists that hold the pole straight. He's got open hands for each hand, and then he's got a fist for each hand that kind of, you can see, is kind of holding the hammer at an angle. So depending on how you want to pose it, you got lots of different options. This is not big enough to stick the whole hammer handle through, unfortunately, but he comes with specific hands to do so. So you just take the pieces, let's put the angled one in. You can attach the hammer up here, and the bottom handle of the hammer up there, and it looks like he's holding it. And then you can just plug that in to his wrist, and it's not as much of a pain as some figures can be. And you can see, even with his little feet, he's still pretty solid with the hammer. And then the shield has a little, again, ball joint where this peg comes in, and even this peg is a separate piece. And you get a whole, this is both sets of them, but they each come with like 8 of these little pegs, so you could add pieces or use these pieces on other figures, because these pegs will fit in the ports on like Flame Ant or any of the other Robot Build figures. So the more you have, the more you can create. It's kind of like, God, I'm trying to remember what those things were called. There were some building Borg lines, assemble Borgs, those things back in the day. Oh, put that in the wrong way. You can see there's a little sandwich ball joint in there. We can get there. So you can take that and you can attach this under his arm. There's a port under his arm. So you can arm him with kind of a saw shield. And again, with that swivel and ball joint, you can put that anywhere on his arm that you want. He's ready to take on the world. And also, one of the things you can do with this modular piece is the 2 halves of the saw come off of the centerpiece, like that. So you can give him like a half shield over here. And then you can take either end of the hammer off, and now he's got, oh, I took the port out of there. Now, thankfully, I was able to get that off with just my finger, but each of them comes with, also on a sprue, you have to cut it off and build it yourself, so that you can give him kind of a power axe there. But each of them comes with, you have to put it together. It's these 2 pieces and then the little plug in the middle and then this individual handle. But like tools to help you get things loose. Like if you just have a loose peg stuck in something, you can use this to twist it out or grab it onto it. This has pegs. You could use this to connect more pieces to things. And then you got this little thing. If there's like a tab or a plug, you can grab, or a ball joint. You can see it's kind of got a room for a ball joint. You can grab it with this and pinch it and pull it out, or you can see whichever end is sticking out. These are slightly smaller, and you can grip either circle or the cross piece of these tabs. So like say I pull this off, but I want to get this out of there, I can kind of grab this, put this in the right side here. I can grab this, and that gives me a grip to twist it out of there. Now, because it just relies on you pushing on it, and these are kind of smooth edges, it's not like a pliers tool, but like once you get that grip, it won't rotate, and you can just pull it right out. So convenient little pieces. Like you get each figure. These are packaged separately. It comes with its own little tool, but it's nice that they include that for ease of use in popping all these things apart. So let's go ahead and put the hammer back together and snap this back together. But you kind of get the idea. But there's him, and if you want to, you can pop. There's a piece. Oh, where is this little piece? It was in the baggie, wasn't it? Oh, it's this piece right here. He's got a little plug. If you don't like this little shield piece, which I kind of dig, you can pull this whole spike out. And again, here's a piece where we're going to use that tool. And again, for something like that, you get the head out of the way. You can, you want to grab this whole thing. You can, oh, I just got one ring off. Oh, there's 2 rings on there. Great. That's going to make that so much easier. Okay, let's just go to this side then. And grab here. Oh, come on. That's the one problem with the fact that you build it yourself, is that plug doesn't always stay straight. All right. There we go. I'll just pull the whole thing out, and then we can push it through. I honestly thought that was a little... Oh, I guess if I'd gotten past it onto that latch, with the previous thing, I could have gotten it, but oh well. So we'll put that ring back on. Last time this all came out as one piece, so I was a little surprised there. But and then you can take this and you can push this through here instead, and plug this back into the torso. And that kind of exposes his little inner face from behind the shield, if you want to have him be like a small worker bot type, more Impurata type shockwave face. And there's also like there's too many parts to pop off, but pretty much everywhere there's a joint, you can pop these things apart and swap things out. And we'll show a little bit of that here in a minute. But there's that. Let's get over to ABYSSAL, because ABYSSAL has one thing that MAGNI does not, and that is if you open this up. Much like the Rooter pilot, he's kind of tucked back, but there's a little, he comes out, you got to tuck his legs back, but there's a little pilot robot for him. And he even has... he's superposable for his size. I guess his head is solid. He's got hinge elbows, ball joints. He's got wrist swivel. Although the reason he has wrist swivel is because you can see he's got little fists on right now. But he also comes in this little teeny bag. He's got some open fists that must be crazy to be doing this on camera. I'm going to fling them all over across the room, but let's do it. Come on. You can get a... If you want him to have open hands, you can unpeg this hand and plug in an open hand on either side, which is kind of neat. The fists fit a little bit better inside. They're a little easier to get in the cockpit. These stick out just a little bit, and it can be kind of a pain to get them around the edges. Not a super pain, but enough that like I prefer the closed fist. Plus the closed fist make him look like he's maybe grabbing some joysticks and controlling the mech. But again, they're your toys. Play with them however you want. Tape that back up. But yeah, he's got like the air tanks, and oh, and this is actually his little backpack. I stored it up there. So that once you pop him out, he's got this little, it goes up like this. He's got a little backpack there. So he's like maybe a rescue mech or something, but he can go down and explore underwater as well. Come on. He's got little feet. His feet are on little hinges, so you can balance him. It's just a matter of getting him. Come on, you can stand. There we go. He's going to get knocked over, but he's got little bitty feet. There we go. But yeah, like I said, all this stuff can come off. If you want to, you can take, where did I get him out? Like right here, you can unpeg this right here. Or actually, no, you can even take, from this part, you can take this piece out. If you wanted, you can, like for example, I was showing you the modular stuff. He's got, his fingers are individually movable. He's got like a hinge here. It's like there's a ball joint here, but it's kind of locked by where the arm is, although it does allow you to move the handle a bit like this. But like I said, if you want to, with these two mechs, you could take this and like plug this in up here. Now MAGNI's got some extra arms. You can do the same with this arm. And you can plug it in on top. You can plug it in on the side. But now he's got some extra grabby arms while he's punching and hammering and chopping you. Meanwhile, MAGNI can run around. He can kind of flip his legs back like this, and now he's just maybe more of a mini sub floating with his research arms. He's exploring the ocean while MAGNI beats the crap out of the bad guys. Or whatever. Like I said, there's so many pieces that you can pull apart. You see like that gray piece is a separate piece. Anytime you see a different color, it's generally a separate piece on these things. There's some tampos, and like that's paint right there. But for the most part, different color plastic is a different color part. You can pull off these handles, whatever. You can combine these two. I haven't messed around with them to find all the configurations, but you could probably make a pretty cool mech out of the parts of just these two combined, because they have complementary. I mean, they're the same pieces, as he's more white, whereas he's more of this dark bluish gray, both with some orange highlights. But just really neat, a lot of fun. I hope they do more like one in these color schemes, but more like these smaller ones. Like I said, the Flame Ants is cool, but he also has tiny feet, and he's kind of hard to balance. You can reconfigure those as well, but these two guys especially are super cool, and I highly recommend picking them up. Like I said, thank you to ShowZ for sending these along. They just showed up the other day, and his little gun barrel piece came off. I didn't notice it. And a lot of fun, so I highly recommend checking them out if you get the chance, because I've gotten several things from ShowZ now, and they've come through every single time. And sometimes it takes a little while, it takes a few days because they're overseas, but definitely worth checking out. And they carry some stuff that is harder to find over here in the U.S., like these guys. These guys are not, haven't found many places that actually carry these here in the United States. Doesn't mean there aren't any, I'm just not aware of any. The usual places don't tend to have them that I've checked. So if somebody big carries them, please let me know. But yeah. MAGNI and ABYSSAL. MAGNI is a Run the Gone guy. ABYSSAL is now mostly on MAGNI now. But yeah, they're really fun. They're really cool. And again, thanks to ShowZ Store for sending them over, because I'm happy with them. I'm having a lot of fun with these dudes. But EarnestCore Craft robot build line, definitely check it out. They're a lot of fun.